Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Rabbit Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those who are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being, right? In today's conversation, we'll be talking about peace often costs clarity, and that's okay, right? We got to take in consideration because many people believe that they need complete certainty before they're able to feel at peace, right? You're not going to have all the answers in life. You don't need to have all the answers, right? The human brain's complex, right? We can continuously keep asking ourselves why, and we'll never figure out because everybody's different, right? But every brain's unique and everybody's different, right? So we got to be able to take consideration in regards, like I said, peace lies within. Right, and there's certain things that we can do in regards to kind of giving ourselves that happiness, that peace, that clarity, that freedom, that just that, you know what I mean, like that we need, right? So I really want to take consideration because a lot of us out here, we make it seem like, we're scratching our head, we're looking for something, right? And you could just be present. You could just be present. You feel me? So in regards to normalizing the experience, most people feel uncomfortable with uncertainty, right? We naturally seek explanations, closure, guarantees, right? We're always, and we got to take consideration too because our relationships, everybody's different, right? We have people that passed away, we're holding on to certain things, right? And also too, the way that we were raised, so certain, values, etc., kind of tie into how we see things. But we got to be able to understand too and rationalize and think critically about our experiences and kind of putting things together, right? In addition to the things that were kind of implemented into us in regards to society, right? So when clarity doesn't come, anxiety often fills up the space, right? So like I said, it's very important for us to have that peace of mind, that mindfulness, detaching from social media, from family sometimes, and having that solitude, getting away, and really kind of understanding your values, making sure your well-being is where it's supposed to be. You're doing everything that you need to kind of keep your health. Health is what? Health is wealth, right? So you're making sure that if you need to be having taking medications, you're doing what you got to do, you're eating proper meals, you're taking, time to kind of have your walks, 20 minutes, you dig, like you're doing things that are going to be more productive for you, so you're able to have that well-being in addition to positive health, right? So like I said, certainty is normal. Our brains think the way we think, right? But we also have to have time for that mindfulness, moments when we feel like we're stuck. Move forward in regards to some psychoeducation, right? The brain prefers predictability because it feels safe, right? We're used to doing what we do, right? Uncertainty can trigger that stress, overthinking, or even the urge to, control outcomes, right? People seeking control, right? Peace is not, absence of uncertainty, right? It's the ability to, function despite of it, right? So we got to be able to take consideration that peace is something that we need. Peace is something that we don't got to have all the answers. We got to keep looking and searching for something, right? We can just, be present, go into conducive environments that are proper for our well-being, right? And get around nature, get around a pond, get around, you feel me? Get away from, you feel me? The city life, if just being straightforward with you, right? Were you able to really clear your mind and think, for yourself, and really think about goals and growth, etc., like all the gracious things in your life, and also to having gratitude. Gratitude is really important because a lot of things going out here to the left and to the right of you and other people's and their lives, right? But you got to have gratitude in regards to what you got going on and how you're breathing and the little things in life, right? But in regards to, like I said, the core insight I really want to take away is that sometimes, peace requires accepting that you don't have to have, like I said, all the answers right now. You don't got to be scratching your head. You don't got to be taking on other people's, burdens and their projections. You feel me? Let's let all that stuff go. You know what I mean? Really have that mind, that clarity, where you're able to just have that silence and that peace of mind within you. Like I said, being present and getting yourself into conducive environments. Moving forward in regards to practical reframing. Right, so choosing peace over, constant certainty. Like I said, certainty is just like you always, your brain's just an override, right? We don't gotta always kind of just be thinking that way, right? Let's try our best to kind of just be neutral, right? Just be present, right? We don't always have to have all the answers. We don't always have to be in control, right? Just live life and just, you feel me? Go one step at a time, right? So not every decision requires complete confidence, right? Just, go with the vibe, right? Sometimes, the healthiest choice is to move forward with the information that you have, right? We don't always have to, like I said, keep ourselves stuck, keep ourselves thinking about the past, keeping ourselves, in that, let's try to get ourselves outside our comfort zone. Easier said than done, right? But let's try to apply the little steps. Let's focus on what's on our plate, right? Let's just do what we can handle, right? Let's kind of evaluate our priorities, right? And really trusting and believing yourself that you're able to do what you put your mind to, right? Trust that, you can coexist when unanswered questions, right? Like I said, for those out there, we got to take consideration some people in our lives that we passed away, some of our loved ones, etc., right? There's different experiences that tie into different people's experience, right? But we got to take in consideration, like I said, let's focus on our well-being. Let's kind of focus on what's on our plate, and let's try to improve. And this can also, too, be a positive reflection of the people, in our lives and have the experiences with us, right? For example, let's have an example in regards to a refrain, right? So instead of saying, I don't need to know everything right now, you could, like I said, just focus on one step at a time. Regardless, if you're waiting for, like I said, a career opportunity, healing from a difficult relationship, starting something new without, knowing the outcome. Like I said, some of us we're diving into new fields, we're diving into new careers, we're diving into different things. Like let's kind of just go with the flow. You know what I mean? Try to give it our best, really put in that effort, right? Let's be intentional, right? And you know what I mean? And everything will click, right? So navigating, major life transitions, right? Some people out here are moving, right? The world when it comes to housing, y'all already know what's up, right? So just like really, just like I'm saying, try to have a positive mindset in regards to whatever time that you're in and whatever season that you're in, right? And really, like I said, is just focusing on being present, focusing on making sure that you have a peace of mind, something that you cannot put a dollar on, you feel me? And I'm just saying, for instance, right, if you don't have the money to even go on a vacation, you feel me? You're able to, like I said, go into conducive environments, kind of get out the city, go, you feel me? Travel a couple blocks away or a couple towns away, you feel me? And just kind of get around, like I said, nature if possible, sit on a bench, you feel me? Detach from social media, whatever, all these different things around you, and really just have that moment for yourself. The peace lies within you, and I want you to be able to have that and have that a positive experience. And the more you do it, you feel me? The more peace of mind you're gonna have, right? So let's really kind of keep that practice and let's keep these things in mind, right? We can have our fun, we can have all these different things in our life, but we got to have balance. We got to make sure we're doing things that are going to be productive for our wellness and our mental health, right? We won't fall across some micro action because when we know better, we tend to do better, right? So identify one question that you've been kind of obsessing over, what's really going on. Is there anything that you're more, be able to really kind of, like I said, look at your plate? What realistically can you do right now? Like I said, we gotta take action, right? Nothing's gonna happen if we're just kind of sitting back. Like I said, when we know better, we gotta do better. If the answer is no, practicing releasing, some of that, like that uncertainty, kind of just letting that go, that can solve some of, your issues today, right? Peace, like I said, grows when you stop demanding certainty, when you stop kind of having to be in control of everything, right? Like I said, give yourself that availability, give yourself that ability to kind of just say, yo, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to give my effort. I'm going to be intentional. And I'm going to just, you feel me? Take one step at a time. And like I said, having this time for solitude, that self-reflection, I always advocate for the journaling, really having time to really kind of just build this rapport with yourself. You feel me? You won't be on this planet. You feel me? You know what I mean? So it's like you got to build this relationship. People, like I said, unfortunately, people come and go, right? But we got to be real. On a high school note, right? People come and go to family. People come and go in this life, right? So I really got to take in consideration that we got to take care of ourselves, but peace lies within. We don't have to be in control, but like I said, try your best to be present, and you can really kind of just live life on a positive note, right? So you don't need perfect, clarity to experience peace, right? Peace lies within. So let's be able to, like I said, let's build ourselves. Let's do the internal work. Let's love ourselves. Let's self-care, right? Let's do this consistent work, right? We can inspire others, but we got to really do the work within ourselves first, and then we're able to kind of make that connection, right? However, if you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.